Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the corner. Welcome to your latest Chelsea transfer news. Mike Mignon, ladies and gentlemen, he's the next, big transfer for us that is brewing in the air. And obviously, we've got Dilap in the bag. We're now moving to the next target. Mike Mignon, we're going to go through the latest news. It looks like AC Milan, they're trying to do their best to keep him. They're begging him. They are desperate to keep him at AC Milan. AC Milan obviously losing quite a lot of important players in this window. They don't want to lose another big, player, goalkeeper as well, which would mean the rebuild is going to be gargantuan. But at the same time, Milan, they're in the mud, man. They're in the mud. There's no European football. And it's some of the players just don't want to stick around anymore. Maybe they want a bit of a fresh start. Look, Mike Mignon, ladies and gentlemen, got a lot of criticism off the back of that performance against Spain the other day, where it was a score of 5-4, a mad game between Spain and France. France looked like if it was continuing for a little bit longer, might have even come back. But there were a couple of mistakes, one very, very notable one where it feels like if it was any of our current goalkeepers, they might have made a save out of that. But look, this is what I'll say. I don't want to solely base everything on that Spain match, because that would be extremely reactionary. All I'm going to say about Mike Mignon, ladies and gentlemen, is I've seen enough of him to say he's a top goalkeeper. He really is. He's a top goalkeeper. And sometimes some of these individuals, they need a change. He's been around at AC Milan for quite a while now. He probably needs to move on. It's a nice challenge to come to Chelsea. We've got European football. He's on his last year of contract at AC Milan. Apparently, whatever wages he's on at AC Milan, we can easily match that. Might even just sweeten it up a little bit with a little bit more. The bottom line is he has already agreed on personal terms with us. That's the news that's been going on now. I will say one thing, though. Through all of this sort of like the news that's coming in regards to Mike Mignon, a lot of it was initially started off with Fabrizio, but over the last 24 to 48 hours, Fabrizio sort of cooled down the conversation of him. He's not really reported anything. There are other journalists that's been talking about it, and obviously in the know people, they've been talking very much about this news. And everyone's saying that he wants to join Chelsea Football Club. He wants the project. He wants to play in Europe. He wants a fresh start, this, that, the other. They're also saying AC Milan, along with Allegri, are trying their best to convince him to stay and begging him. However, through all of this, one particular journalist who I want him to speak out about this, who's not doing it, is David Ornstein. Orny, who makes us all nice and horny, is not making us horny in this situation. He really isn't. He's very much quiet about it. He's not even whispered anything. He's not even put in just a couple of words in regards to Mike Mignon. He's not mentioned anything about this. And that's what worries me, because when it's David Ornstein, you start to feel, okay, there's something happening. When Ornstein is not saying anything about the whole matter, not even a beep out of him, you just wonder how much of all of this is actually true in the background. So let's see all the latest news. We're going to get to Patty. Guys, if you're not following Patty ALT Altman on X, make sure you do, because he does get a lot of things right. He actually does. This is what he said on the 6th of June, which was literally late yesterday. No updates this morning. I don't want to recycle same news. Oh, so this was early yesterday morning. It's been same since last week. Mignon given okay, tells Milan he wants to leave. Busy with internationals. Allegri begs him to stay. 4 million salary offered for renewal. Chelsea can match similar. So 4 million, it's not asking for much. The problem at the moment is Milan are haggling on the price. Now, this is the latest from Patty, literally about an hour ago. And I'm going to go to Rudy Galletti, who's also covering the news. As I said, I need David Ornstein to say something. I really do. On Mignon, Chelsea can officially bid 15 million euros plus 5 million euros and add-ons right now. But Milan seek 30 million only. Positive side, his player is pushing to sell. Allegri cannot convince him UCL key. Now, I've always said this. When a player doesn't want to stay at a football club, it is very difficult for that football club to keep him. Even more when that particular player only has 1 year left in his contract. So Milan could potentially risk him going on a free, and they don't even get anything. They get zilch. At least at this rate, it seems like Chelsea can officially bid 15 million euros plus 5 million. It's true. Chelsea do have all the leverage here. They do. Chelsea definitely has all the leverage. Not only we're not in any sort of, well, we should be in a bit of a rush, but Chelsea's giving the brief. They're giving the, that vibe that, look, we've got a lot of goalkeepers. We're not worried. We're not worried. You should be. You really should be. But the image that they're portraying is, we're not worried. We've got a lot of goalkeepers. Your man doesn't want to be with you. Your man wants European football. Your man only has 1 year left in his contract. So we have a lot of leverage. We're going for 15 plus 5, which I think is probably the right thing to do. Probably the right thing to do. Milan, on the other hand, wants 30 million. And I think eventually Milan will have to give in. If the player's not willing to stick around, why would you want to keep a goalkeeper that just simply does not have the heart, that doesn't have the heart to stay in your football club anymore? It's a problem. It's a problem. This is what Rudy Galletti said, ladies and gentlemen, in the last 12 hours. Chelsea are still negotiating with AC Milan for Maignan, talks ongoing. The goalkeeper has verbal agreement in place and is pushing for the move. So personal terms, all of that, that's done. That's already been taken care of, it looks like. It's just a matter of now the price with AC Milan, which I feel Chelsea will get what we want. Chelsea ultimately will get it because Milan will potentially lose this player on a free down the track. January, he can really go for a pre-agreement with any club. At that point, it's not just going to be Chelsea anymore. But AC Milan are holding firm, asking for at least £20 million to evaluate his possible departure. Decisive weekend ahead. Now, these are the two news that's the latest on Maignan. I want to talk about this whole goalkeeper thing, right? Look, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Sanchez, we've got Petrovic, we've got Kepa, we've got Penders, right? These are the four sort of contenders. Now, Penders, he probably needs a loan, and he'll go out and he'll get a loan and he'll try and impress down the track. I think he's penciled down to be long-term Chelsea goalkeeper down the track. I know we've got other goalkeepers. We're not even going to touch base on that. Jorgensen is still probably number 2. He is still probably number 2. Kepa needs to leave, and apparently we are talking to AC Milan to give them Kepa as well. Kepa's also linked with Arsenal, by the way, and that's legit, potentially being number 2 over there. And Sanchez. Now, none of these goalkeepers are good enough, right? None of them are good enough. We've seen a lot of mistakes from all of these goalkeepers, okay? So Sanchez, to all the people that are saying, yeah, he's finished the season well, he's kept things tight, which he has, but you always feel that there's a mistake just around the corner with Sanchez, yeah? So he needs to move on. He needs to move on. Kepa, we don't need to see anymore. A lot of people are very concerned about Maignan. Look, you can't guarantee anything. You can't. We all thought Onana, off the back of that Inter Milan season, you thought, wow, what a monster goalkeeper. We all remember that Inter Milan season that Onana had. Then he comes to Man United and he's been a massive flop to the point where he's going to get let go. These things can happen. I'm not going to sit here and give a guarantee, but what I will say is that at least you can bank on the fact that Maignan is a top goalkeeper. Very good shot stopper, very commanding in the box, very good in terms of distribution. And just like most goalkeepers, but at least with Maignan and any other top goalkeepers, they've got the basics right. Yeah, they've got the basics right. Now, if you put a strong defense in front of them, then they're going to be that much better, right? Strong defense, which will not create mistakes. And then if anything does seep through, Maignan should be able to take care of the rest. Whereas our current situation, sometimes we may have strong defense, but the goalkeeper is so erratic, so chaotic, it creates a mess for us. So for me, and also you have to look at the price, 15 million plus 5 million euros, 20 million euros all up. That's about what? Maybe 15 million pounds or a bit less than 15 million pounds. The price is really good. The age of Maignan, 29 years old, is very good, brings a lot of experience, wealth of experience, in fact. French international goalkeeper. He'll add to our dressing room. No doubts about that. We need to move next season with quality. And a quality goalkeeper is very important for a growing team. And a team that has demonstrated in the latter parts of the season that just finished that the defense is getting better. Levi Colwell, Tosin, Chalobah. Chalobah's going to move on. Reece James, Cucurella. The defense is getting strong. So when you add then a strong goalkeeper on top of that, hopefully it creates a solid foundation in the back, which then launches our attacking players to do the damage up front. So this is why it's important. I know a lot of people might be, by the way, Petrovic. Petrovic is another one. So we talked about Sanchez, Jorgensen, Pendes, Kepa, Petrovic. We didn't even talk about Petrovic. How can we forget? Petrovic. Petrovic is another name that's getting touted to go to AC Milan as well. So we're looking to perhaps give them Petrovic, in return get Maignan. And I get it. A lot of people want Petrovic to start for us. And I got to a point last season where I felt maybe it's not that bad for Petrovic if he does start for Chelsea Football Club. But, should we get that gassed up with the Strasbourg season? I know the same thing can be said about Andre Santos. But Andre Santos, you can clearly see a distinct talent. Can we say the same thing about Petrovic? I don't know. And maybe this is why Chelsea's relaxed. Maybe this is why Chelsea's relaxed with a Mike Maignan situation that, do you know what? Even if we don't get Maignan, we can at least give Petrovic a chance to start for us next season. And, we can still go on and sell Sanchez and sell Kepa and whoever else, right? Jorgensen can still be number 2 to Petrovic. But I do believe Petrovic is probably going to get sold because you're going to get a lot of money out of Petrovic now. But we'll see. I still do rate Maignan higher than Petrovic, even though Petrovic has had a stellar season. Let me know your thoughts. Are you at a point where you'd rather give Petrovic an opportunity? Or do you think you know what? The step up is too much. Maignan has played at the highest level. He has. He's been the goalkeeper at the highest level. Is this even a comparison at all between himself and Petrovic? Let me know, ladies and gentlemen, in the comment section. We shall see. I think the whole Mike Maignan saga will come to a swift conclusion very, very soon because it's not going to carry on too long. It's either he doesn't want to stay. It's either we pay the money or we walk away from it, and Maignan will have to either sign a new contract or find another suitor. I think we're quite adamant that it has to be within our terms, or I think this is why, the number of goalkeepers that we have, Petrovic is being probably touted as someone to start. So let me know your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. Smash up the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time, take care. See ya.